So let's just segue now into the final topic, which has to do with an announcement for DC and some delays. First, I want to start with the official announcement of a show I am actually very excited for now. This comes to us from DC itself. Every story has a beginning. The Penguin, which is a working title, a new limited series starring Colin Farrell, is coming to the HBO Max streaming service. Matt Reeves, Dylan Clark, Colin Farrell, and Lauren LaFranc to serve as executive producers. I assume Reeves is going to write it, but we got a picture here of Colin Farrell as the Penguin. He killed it, obviously, in Batman. So I am really excited for this. Alex, what do you think about like this official announcement of the Penguin?
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where they go with it.
Now, you correct me if I'm wrong. You haven't seen Peacemaker,
Nope.
so let me ask: from day one, will you be watching the Penguin?
Nope.
Why not?
Unless it like severely ties into the Batman sequel.
I feel like it's going to, or not severely, but I feel like it definitely will, right? Because we end off the Batman with obviously
A power vacuum.
right, and we pan to the Penguin, right? So I assume this show will be about him taking over the power vacuum and him having to run his criminal empire differently, right? Because it's alluded to in the movie that he gets away with a lot of shit because people in power go to the Iceberg Lounge, the club within the club, as Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman said. So I'm really excited for this. Obviously, Reeves working on it. Uh, but follow up to that, do you think Reeves has kind of done the Favreau and Filoni thing and spread himself too thin? Maybe if he's working on this Arkham Asylum thing and the Penguin, and then the Batman sequel, do you think he spread himself too thin?
Time will tell. Reeves did amazing with the Batman, so I have no reason to believe he won't do good with these other things.
Right, and the Penguin was a very, very strong character in the Batman. Colin Farrell, you can't even tell it's Colin Farrell. Did a absolutely fantastic job as the Penguin. So I'm really excited for the show. It should start filming. Rumor has it this year, summer, fall. So maybe we get it in 2023 at some point.
Yeah.
This will probably be a tie into the Batman 2, or whatever the hell they're gonna call it. I'd like to see certain characters introduced. Court of Owls, a secret society in Gotham. I feel like the Penguin might know about that. That'd be really interesting, right? Because the Penguin's got to find a way to keep his power. Uh, Court of Owls might be able to do that. And maybe, hey, cameo from Pattinson. Do you think that's out of the window for something like this?
No, definitely not. Definitely not out of there.
And now, you got anything else
No, probably won't
today?
watch it. Not gonna lie.
Wow, 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 wow.
Average MC fan right here.
Right, yeah, according to me. Uh, Now let's move into the sad news. Well,
It's sad, not unexpected news.
DC has moved a bunch of its films, which is really weird because I don't know. Did they have this at your theater? They had the preview for all the DC stuff,
Yeah, the DC or the DC or the World Needs Heroes thing.
right? And well, Jesus Christ, Super Pets. I saw the trailer for that. It looked really weird.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Sorry to put a certain creator on blast here. Did you see Hertz Joe's video about it?
nah.
Basically, he complained that the ears on the Batman were too pointy, and everyone in that comment section were flaming him about, oh my god, it's almost like it's an animated movie, and it's meant to be
Right,
exaggerated.
right. Well, that's well, yeah. All right, Super Pets. Okay, we really don't care. It got moved 2 months. Black Adam got moved to October from July. The
Sad.
Flash got moved basically a
Seven
whole half a
months.
year. Plus, yeah, plus another month.
Which
Yes.
honestly, I think I think that was a reactionary move so they can rewrite some of the script and reshoot a lot.
Well, what's really weird about that move is that Batgirl comes out in December.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's an HBO Max thing. So, Alex, explain to me how Michael Keaton's in how they going to explain that without the Flash? Because
Jesus,
what
that's how.
I mean, is it now not the DCEU? Is like Batgirl in a different universe? Like, I have
Guess
so many
so.
I have I had so many questions. Listen, man, don't touch Matt Reeves' universe.
Yeah, just stay away. Just stay
The
away.
Flash could be a clusterfuck, so who knows?
Ugh,
Um,
not even with me right now.
Aquaman 2 moved back 4 months. I'm gonna be honest,
Don't care.
I didn't
Not
even
gonna see
watch the
it.
first one.
Yeah, gotta be honest with you. Okay, this might sound very rude, very upsetting. I'm only seeing the Flash out of these movies.
I mean, I
I
might
might.
see Black Adam because
Yeah,
of
I might see Black Adam.
um I heard the first Shazam's good and that got moved to December. But the
It
weird thing
got
about
yeah, it got moved forward.
6 months, I've never seen that before.
Literally, then my thing was if the date didn't get released, were they just gonna be sitting on this movie being ready for
I
5
guess
months?
so. I guess so, Alex. I mean, it's very, very bizarre.
Yeah, it's weird because some of these did kind of do what the recent Marvel delays did when like they moved Multiverse of Madness back and all that. Some of them are just replacing dates. But again, like this Shazam Fury of the Gods, how do you move a movie forward 6 months? I
Right,
would
that's
get it.
crazy.
I would get it if
Crazy.
you moved it late or earlier in the week of release. Like I'm trying to remember a time when this happened. Oh, I can. In my theaters, they were showing the Batman 2 days early.
Right.
It's like, okay, like that's different. It didn't get moved 3 months early.
Right.
It's like, who
Well,
is
it's like
making these decisions?
I feel like DC also didn't like schedule the stuff out properly then. Like
No.
why was Shazam filming so early that it was and it's so weird that they released that Flash thing at DC Fandom
Yeah,
in
and the movie's not going to come out for like.
October and it's not going to come out for 18 months after that. It's like weird. It's like the pandemic's not a thing. Or I mean the pandemic is still a thing. There's still COVID, but it's not to the
Yeah,
magnitude that, we've seen. So like it's very very bizarre. And you were telling me that the reaction on social media I haven't looked is pretty mixed, I guess.
yeah, you got some people saying that like, oh, well, if they're just gonna take some time on these movies that like, just to make them better, then what's the downside? Well, the downside is, then how the fuck are any of these stories gonna make sense? Again, like you brought up with the Batman or with Michael Keaton Batman, how do you explain that? How do you explain how he's there in what is it, Batgirl or Batwoman?
Batgirl, yeah. Yeah.
Something like that. How do you explain him being there?
Right.
He was needed in the Flash first.
Yep.
So do you
Unless
delay?
you delay the Batgirl.
And why do that when the movie's almost done?
Why move a movie up 6? I've never heard of that.
Never heard of a movie moving forward 6 months. Again, I've seen, like I mentioned earlier, I've seen movies get moved forward, released 2 days. Like the Batman, again, like I told you, the Batman was showing previews on like late
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah. And another thing with Shazam, you know what movie it's going up against?
No, I don't remember.
The second Avatar.
Yeah, that's just
Literally the biggest box office hit ever.
yeah, only tied.
Avatar 2, it's going up against a Disney film. What the fuck are you doing, Warner Bros? Sorry.
Not
But
gonna win.
what are you
Look,
doing?
the Shazam one was good. Wasn't that good? It was
You
good.
saw it?
No,
I haven't
yeah,
seen it.
it was good. It wasn't that good. It wasn't. It wasn't Avatar 2
Hype
good.
level. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, what are they doing? You're putting your movie in a position to listen. The Flash, I believe, at one point was like a week after or a week before Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. That movie
Yeah.
was going to get smoked in the box office because of the MCU's popularity. I don't care that Keaton's Batman came back. It was Black Panther. People love that character and they love that world. Uh, this it's just bizarre that like you move it up and you say, you know what? Let's move it the same week that Disney has the sequel to the highest grossing film of all time. All time. It's a sequel to a movie that hasn't come out since what? When did that Avatar movie come out? Probably 2010, 2009, something
Yeah.
like that.
I thought it was 2008, but whatever.
It might have been. Well, you
No,
know,
I don't know.
I think it's 09.
I'm gonna look this up. When did?
09. I was right. Nice.
Yeah.
I've only seen it like once.
I haven't seen it in like the last like few years. I've
Right.
seen it before, but
It's a good movie. But very bizarre decisions by DC. Do you think they're what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think the purpose is of it?
classic DC and Warner Bros. Move.
It really is. It really is.
Classic move. I mean, it's just like, yeah, let's just like put it against like some movies that it won't beat. Now, again, I would understand if they delayed The Flash so it didn't have to go against Wakanda Forever.
Right.
Jesus Christ, 6 months,
7, yeah.
7. Sorry, um, that's a pretty
Weird.
extreme delay. Now, granted, yeah, it gets moved to a time where there's no MCU movies coming out that we know of at the time.
Yeah.
But like, even then, like you take that off of 2023, you're coming off of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Guardians Volume 3,
Whatever Disney Plus
yeah,
properties.
Star Wars has stuff
Right.
coming out that year. It's good. It's
It was
potentially
also
going to have our first movie back.
and it was also this year, Alex, was a lot of people said it was supposed to be the year of DC.
Yeah, and it's
And
looking like it's going to be the movie of DC, the DC movie of the year.
right. Just the Batman.
So
Yeah,
sad. Oh well, Peacemaker, I guess.
well, I feel like I understand from a standpoint that they want to get the Flash right because you got to get the Flash right. Maybe it's a response to some leaks we've heard about it.
I think honestly, if they were telling me, "Hey, Alex, we're gonna, we've seen the fan reaction to the leaks of resetting the DCEU. We're gonna take our time and we're gonna rewrite that movie." Then I actually might understand it because like Flashpoint is a huge point in the DC comics. It's a
Correct.
huge moment in DC Comics. That's like the House of M of DC Comics. But Jesus Christ, 6, 7 months delayed? Why? At this point, I would just scrap the movie.
Yeah, it's like you've already committed to this idea. I don't know how much you can do alter through I mean, a lot of this movie seems like it is and again, reshoots aren't a bad thing. It's very much
Common.
utilized in
Yeah.
the MCU, but like what is this movie? Like what's like it's very I don't know. I have no idea what direction they're going here.
No, I don't either. And I think, again,
And it
Flashpoint,
sucks after such a good movie too. They do
yeah.
this.
Again, Flashpoint, major event in the DC Comics. Let's see, we had Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Justice League, Aquaman, Wonder Woman 84, Peacemaker. That's 7 things in the DCEU. Oh, and the Suicide Squad, 8 things in the DCEU, Drew. And they're just like, let's already hit the reset button. Could
I
you
know.
imagine if after Iron Man 2, the MCU is just like, reset. We made a mistake.
Right.
Sorry.
Just do what you were doing. Just do standalone.
Literally, let's think Star Wars. Look, this is the three major franchises and how they should just stick to stuff. Star Wars should stick to series on Disney Plus. Marvel should stick to movies, and DC should stick to standalone movies. Or I'm sorry, Marvel should have an interconnected should have interconnected movies. DC should have separate movies.
I agree with that.
And if you really wanted to have them connect, have them do something for like Elseworlds or Crisis on Earth X or Crisis on Infinite Earths, where you just bring them together and then you separate them again. I don't want to see I don't want to see Titans Dick Grayson interacting with Matt Reeves the Batman.
Right.
Maybe as a one-time multiverse interaction, sure. But I don't want to see it all the time.
Yeah, it's, I mean, what can I say? This universe seems to be a mess.
It's ran by a mess of a company.
Yeah, they're just very inept at their job. I don't get it, man. Like, it just seems like sometimes with these things, Star Wars or even DC, there's just not enough care put into it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you need somebody like Reeves, and very much feel like Reeves is like the Favreau and Filoni of Star Wars, right? Very much care. They want to build this universe out, and I just feel like with some other ones, they have good creators in position, but these creators don't. They just care about their own project, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But like, you understand what I'm saying, though? Like, they don't build off of it. They don't. They're not. I don't know. It's weird. I mean, my final thoughts on it really before we wrap up here is, it sucks. One or two ways it could be going, right? They've panicked, or they could be, being reactionary but altering the story to make it make more sense for this cinematic universe. So it's either one of two ways, but
my
I'm gonna
thing
go
is
with the
this.
former, that
Yeah.
it's a negative thing.
My thing is this: is with say like just the Flash. How are you going to explain to casual fans how big this event actually is?
Right.
Like, again, it's my thing with like House of M, Multiverse of Madness. You understand the scope of the event. You're seeing reality torn apart.
But there's also a build up to those things. With this, there was no build up to Flashpoint.
No.
It's just like the first story you're telling with your DCEU Flash is Flashpoint. That's
It's
crazy.
Flashpoint. Could you just imagine we start the first Doctor Strange movie is Multiverse of Madness, and this is in Phase 3 before Infinity War and Endgame?
That's crazy. That's nuts.
How do you explain that? Who is this guy?
Right.
He's mentioned in Thor Ragnarok comes before or comes after this.
Right. I just worry that there's a lack of development for Ezra Miller's The Flash, because Ezra Miller is basically just a cameo fest at this point at the DC world, besides the Justice League, where he's not a fantastic character.
Yeah. Sad times for the DC EU, but good times for the Batman.
Yes, good times for the Batman.